All right, here we go. Cooper Weidenthaler with Davenport Athletics, and I'm joined by the head coach of the women's volleyball program, Brian Netzler. Coach, first, just basic, how are you and the family holding up? It's a super weird time. We've been in quarantine now 3 months. I think it's moving in the right direction towards normal now. Obviously not going to be completely normal, but how are you guys doing right now?
Well, it's good to see your face, Coop. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen each other. No, we're doing all right. It's interesting when you've got a 10-month-old in the house and you're, with him 24/7. There's no daycare, there's no anything. So it's been good. We did some home renovation projects, and I don't wish that upon anybody with a 10-month-old because it's really hard. Where I thought it was going to be 2 weeks, it ended up being like 2+ months. But we're hanging in there. We're doing all right. So.
Yeah, before we jumped on here, you were in a meeting with the strength guy, Caleb Grummett. And my next question is, how have you been able to lead the program without being with the girls, or, not really having any contact with them other than maybe texting or calling? What has that been like for you right now?
Just trying to be as creative as possible. I mean, that's the number one thing. So, we have set up kind of like a routine with Zoom calls with our girls. So every other week we do team Zooms on Fridays. The weeks in between we do individuals or we do small groups. And so we've really just tried to really drive home how important it is to stay connected through all this. It's really hard and it takes some extra initiative. But I think it's been really good. As we've gone through these, the more and more, those individual calls at first were a lot of just Abby and I kind of leading the call. And, by the time that we're, into June now, late May, it was more or less like we're on the call and it's supposed to be 15 minutes. We're on it for 23 minutes and, 21 of the 23 minutes, it's just stories in our girls talking. So it's been great for, just for us to stay connected with our girls, but it's also, we're still new in this process, we're still a new staff. And so it's been really great to just kind of get to know them. We've pulled some wild cards out of the hat for our team Zooms, and we've pulled in some pseudo celebrities. We've had a world champ basketball player, Tony Kukoc, join in. We've had our U.S. Olympic team, national team setter, Lauren Carlini, join us. So it's just trying to be creative and find ways that we can keep them engaged and keep them wanting to come back and having meaningful conversation with us. So.
Yeah, you mentioned being a new coaching staff, your second year coming up, your first full recruiting cycle, the first time you've gotten to find all the girls that you want, and no one had previously committed from the previous staff. So it's been all you. You got 3 high schoolers coming in. You've got Ava Koistra, Taylor Rutgers, and Nicole O'Dean. Talk about those 3 and kind of where you found them.
Yeah, I'll start with Nicole first. Nicole is from Minnesota. It's actually the first ever recruit I've ever, in all my years, gotten out of the state of Minnesota. It's a lot of the girls in Minnesota, they don't really like to travel far from home. And so we kind of started down this process with Nicole, and she plays for a really, really great club there called Minnesota Select, and has played some really high-level volleyball either on the juniors club circuit or with her high school at Buffalo High School. And so I think Nicole's going to come in, and she's primed and ready to go. She's a competitor. She's cool, calm, and collective on the court. She's got a kind of a funny, quirky sense of humor, which is, it's definitely invited by the rest of us. So we're really excited about Nicole. Taylor is a 6 rotation outside from Matawan down near Kalamazoo. Taylor honestly was the first recruit that ever contacted me. I mean, I was still in my house in Oxford, Ohio. I still remember the first call, and I thought I had no idea who it was. It was a Kalamazoo number. My wife's from Kalamazoo. I thought maybe it was a family member calling me, wanting to know like what was going on with the move. And it was Taylor, and she was, really interested in Davenport and wanting to make a go of it. So she's a great jumper, a really good defender, like really loves to just get her nose in there and get after it defensively. I'm really excited to see what Taylor is going to bring to our program. She's a competitor too. And I think, when we get some strength with Taylor, with Taylor, our strength coach, I really think she's going to, just continue to blossom as a player and just continue to get stronger. And Ava Koistra is from the area. She's from Grand Rapids. Abby actually coached her in club volleyball last year as a junior. And then I actually got an opportunity to coach her until our season got, kind of diminished by the pandemic this year. And so she comes from Grand Rapids Christian High School. She's a back-to-back state champion winner. middle blocker. She's physical. She's competitive. She works her tail off. We're really, really excited about Ava. So those three are definitely going to make our program better. And I just can't wait to see them in the gym and kind of working through it with the rest of the girls.
So those are the three high schoolers, and then you tack on a couple of transfers. You've got Quinn Koppas from right here in the GLIAC. She comes from Ashland. And then you've got Stephanie Kalinowski, who comes from Division III Platteville in Wisconsin. Talk about those two. It's always nice to have transfers come in. They've seen other programs, and then you get them as part of your team.
Yeah, both of them committed through this quarantine pandemic, which is pretty wild. There's a lot of FaceTiming, a lot of phone calls, a lot of FaceTimes. Stephanie is a triplet, which is pretty ironic, and her sister, she's got a brother who goes to Grand Valley, and she has a sister who actually plays at Lake Superior State. So it's going to be fun to kind of see them duke it out on the court this year. But Stephanie, she comes from Wisconsin Platteville. She's from the east side of the state, Detroit area. She had over 500 digs as a freshman, as a libero there. I had a lot of conversation with her club coach over, through the recruiting process, and he's a great guy that I know and trust, and spoke very highly of her. I saw some video, and she just really wants to be a part of our program, and found the major she wants and wants to play in the GLIAC. So we're real excited about Steph. I think she's going to really bolster our back row defense. And Quinn, I saw her name on the transfer portal, and I immediately went after. I knew we needed some help, kind of middle right side, and so Quinn, we started the conversation, and Abby and I always talk a lot about bringing in good humans and people that we think are going to make our program better just from their personalities. It's not even their volleyball specific standpoint, and Quinn is definitely that person. Quinn Koppas is she's played at a high level. She played club volleyball at a high level. We're really, really excited to see where she kind of brings her game and where she brings our gym. But on top of that, we've just really enjoyed getting to know Quinn through this process. She had quite a few offers and a lot of other schools that she could have gone to, and she chose us. And so we're really excited about both of them. I think, both are going to fit in really nicely with our group and really, continue to make our program more competitive as we move forward.
All right, Coach. That's all I got for you. I know you've done a lot of recruiting, so I just wanted to touch on that. But hopefully, as we get towards August, things start to get back to normal. It's super weird, and hopefully we can be back in our offices doing what we do. But I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Awesome, Cooper. I appreciate it.